Hello beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel. My name is Angelica. I am an Ascended Master Healer, or just a Master Healer if Ascended Master Healer kind of throws you off a little bit. I'm a Master Healer, I'm a channel, I'm an energy worker. I do a lot of different things, but basically I support and facilitate space for others to come into their own empowerment, to transform their own lives, and to provide energy medicine where it is needed and required in that transformation, in that transitional phase. So in today's video, we are going to tune into some light codes from the beautiful constellation of Camelopardalis. I'm going to invite you now to, look up, Google Camelopardalis constellation. It is the constellation that is represented by a giraffe. And in today's activation, there is a major throat activation coming online for all of us, especially while we're still in this Lionsgate portal, in this information superhighway. So now is the time to really receive those codes so that we can integrate and ground those into our expression going forward. As always, I encourage you and invite you to use your discernment. If this video is not for you, if it doesn't resonate, please click off. If it does resonate, know that you are making a choice. Know that you're making the decision to be open and receptive to the energies moving and being offered to you. And also know that I am only a channel. I am merely the conduit. I am merely the facilitator. These codes may bring up certain awarenesses that require your action to, become aware of certain patterns, maybe certain traumas or traumatic events that you've experienced in the past that require your attention, that require your presence, that require you to feel them, that require you to into some form of action. Even if it's introspective action, it's still action. Okay, so that you embody and integrate these for yourself. That is part of empowering ourselves. So I like to call the age of Aquarius the age of empowerment, because we are learning, we are remembering how to be fully empowered, fully sovereign. And I share those codes as I go through my own process of releasing the old bullshit and integrating and remembering who the fuck I am. So I invite you to remember who the fuck you are by empowering yourself. And I will always remind you that it is up to you to do the work, okay? I'm just a conduit and a facilitator, but a powerful one at that. Utilize these codes, this information for your highest and best good, to serve the highest and best good of all. I have some information that I channeled through that is coming through very strongly right now during this Lionsgate portal. Although, just trust that if you are watching this outside of the Lionsgate portal, which is from the end of July into like August 22nd or 26th, just know and trust that you're in the right space at the right time, okay? Let's get into the information that I channeled through, and then we'll get into the light codes at the end of the video. Camelopardalis is actually bringing through a major throat activation. This constellation is represented by a giraffe. And if you notice, giraffes have very long necks. That is a huge throat chakra. So there's a lot of different activations coming through at this time for the throat. Also, just know that you might have certain awarenesses beyond what I'm going to share here, and I'm going to invite you to share those in the comments below, because I would love to receive those extra awarenesses, because I'm all about it. Camelopardalis right now is bringing in a major throat activation. So awareness around where we are overextending ourselves, as the neck can extend over as it pertains to the giraffe. So awareness around where we are overextending ourselves, or sticking our neck out that is disempowering and no longer serving. So it is awareness around where we are disempowering ourselves or we have given our power away. Okay? So this activation is also about calling our power back, remembering our power, activating our power, and bringing awareness to the little subtleties and even more obvious ways in which we have given our power away, disempowered ourselves, or allowed ourselves to be disempowered by others, shutting down our expression, our throat chakra. Balance between the head and the heart, activating the power of the throat and one's truth and true nature, true expression, to serve as a balancing point between mind and emotion. So this has to do with also the mind and the heart, bringing greater balance within the mind and the heart by activating one's own true expression, true nature, truth, and activating the throat chakra as a balancing point between the head and the heart. Call on giraffe medicine to bring greater awareness around how to embody, integrate greater balance between the head and the heart, to bring greater awareness around where you have been disempowering yourself in the past or have allowed yourself to be disempowered or even internalized others' projected belief systems around power, therefore creating a disempowering dynamic for you, giving your power away. Also, to bring the throat and this power center online in a greater capacity to serve as a balance point, again, to serve as a balance point between mind and emotion, and also greater capacity within your expression. So this activation is also to support a greater expression of our true expression. So it might call you into action. It might call you into things that you might haven't explored since you were a kid. Call in giraffe medicine to support you in your authentic expression and to release programming around repression and suppression of your true expression. And the last thing about Camelopardalis that I will share before we get into the light codes is our expression brings balance to our mind and heart. When we suppress or repress our true expression, the mind and emotions become imbalanced. This can manifest as mood disorders like bipolar, schizophrenia, anger, rage issues, and other disorders that we have labeled in our society, where the mind and heart are out of balance. So this activation is to bring a greater balance between the mind and the heart by activating the throat. So it's actually helping to balance our mental energies as well as our emotional energies. Think of the mental and emotional bodies. We're activating the throat. Throat actually combines the thoughts, the mental energy, the information, as well as the emotional state or the emotional state of being that we're in or that we wish to express. Right now I'm getting the image of a singer. So if someone is singing and they're emoting, I'm almost thinking of like someone like Adele, who you can feel the emotion, the amount of emotion that she has poured into these songs from her own experience. That actually supports us in balancing our mental and emotional energies. Now that we have a better understanding about what this activation is kind of bringing in, be open to other awarenesses that come to you. Share them in the comments below after. So if you have not done so yet, I'm going to encourage you to sit in a quiet space. If you're driving, obviously do what you gotta do. If you're working, obviously do what you gotta do. but maybe come back to this where when you can sit in a quiet space, sitting upright or laying down, whatever feels good to you, in whatever receptive manner you want to be in. And let's take a couple of deep breaths to come into the space, to come into presence, so that we can truly be receptive to these codes. So taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, allowing ourselves to release any tension, relaxing our entire body, and bringing our awareness into the inner space, okay? If you haven't done so already, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if it feels good to do so. And let's take a second deep breath in and out through the mouth. And a third one, deep breath in and out through the mouth. Good. So just allowing yourself to ground back into your body, feeling your body. Even if you have to move it, wiggle a little bit to bring your awareness, bringing your presence into your body. And now I'm going to invite you to become receptive and open to the codes that are coming through, and set your intention now that you trust and know that you will receive the exact medicine, the exact awareness, whatever it is that you require in this moment to know, you will receive that, okay? And that you are only available for that which is for you. Initially, there is some energy work around the throat. And if you are watching, know that you are also consenting to this work, okay? And it is always for your highest and best good. Those are always the intentions that I hold. So we are doing a bit of clearing so we can fully receive this activation from Camelopardalis and the beings of Camelopardalis, the high benevolent beings. They want me to make sure that I specify that. And this is causing a greater flow of the heart, but also the high heart. So there was some clearing around the high heart and into the throat chakra. Aligning the energies and the lines of energies within your body, within your energy system, to the exact alignment that it needs to be to receive these codes. Okay, taking a deep breath in and out. حتى ليس أويس شتكو هيلاسا أوس شكيتا لاتو أليستو وسش حاتو إلها أنا هو سي كالاتو ألاستو وسي هكوي ها هو أولي هبمس Leasash tkuileata. Elohia shu haleato. Aloheata numas. Shukole hat. Uala sishituale. Atu uet ileaste kuyete. Akua alaste kuasheti. Anualea seshia. Hualatia. Hamatu uesikiata. Amohoe leati uekiati la. Muate ya sa alewe. Uhoe la mokoya. Sashuta. Hatuliate kuana aleatu esikiata. Kwa aleata sikuyate. Matuala. Ha matukola sesha. Ha matukoelata. Kiala buoyana ha mats. Inaha alaya mkoelea. So there's also awareness around, I'm feeling certain people in the audience connecting to this video, also becoming aware of this connection that they have to this constellation and to these beings of Camelopardalis. They are not on this dimensional frequency of this dimensional, this third dimensional reality we're currently in. They are fourth and higher, fourth to sixth, and into seventh, some of them. And as we shift, we are becoming more aware of these, I guess, more rare connections, or the connections that are not spoken of or not talked about very prominently in spiritual circles, in the spiritual community. You could say this is more rare, if that is a label that helps you to understand how the type of connection that this is. At least for now, as we become more and more aware, this is going to be much more prominent in the consciousness of humanity and the human collective consciousness. Okay? So another deep breath in and out. So there is some work and codes around the heart coming in to balance the emotional energies and to bring awareness around what you require to bring into balance as far as emotions. So there might be, again, referring back to the anger issues, rage issues, or even overextending ourselves emotionally onto others, kind of burdening others with our stuff because we don't understand how to regulate our own emotions or emotional system. Maybe because we were taught this and we modeled this behavior around guardians, parents, or anybody else that we were around as very young children. So anyone who may have had rage or anger issues or overshared, and because they didn't know how to balance and regulate their own emotions, emotional system, creating a great imbalance, especially within the mind. So there is a balancing effect within the heart, within the emotional bodies right now. This may serve as a calming effect, a peaceful calming energy that serves to bring you back into your emotional center. This is reminding you of your emotional center. And I'm hearing, if you wish to tune in to this video on multiple occasions, this can serve as an energetic support to guide you back into your own emotional stability and your own emotional center, where you are able to respond and communicate in a more neutral manner. Not to say that there is no emotion whatsoever. It means your emotions are balanced. Okay? Your emotions are balanced. So just continuing to breathe into the heart space and breathing into your emotional body is what I hear. Breathe into your emotional body. Allowing it to come into a place of balanced harmonics within your own symphony of your own frequency. Okay, so musically, your emotional body, or musically speaking, your emotional body plays a certain tune, plays a certain melody. And when it's out of sync or out of harmony with your mental body, you can hear discordant notes that bring dissonance, that bring disharmony, and that create those imbalances within the mood, that create things like bipolarity, that create imbalances within one's emotional and mental body, because they are out of sync, out of balance with each other. So this is attuning you also to your own symphony, so you can play your own rhythm. You can master your own rhythms section. So this seems to be very, very musically based. They're working with a lot of sound and language about sound and audio and music for a purpose. And you are invited to explore that further with them through your own connection. And then we're going to begin to sync up and harmonize with the mind and with the mental body. So just intend to breathe into your mental body, also intending to harmonize your mental and emotional bodies in the perfect alignment for you that serves you in the highest and best way. So we are illuminating awareness around beliefs, around history. So this can come as traumatic events or experiences, things that we've experienced that have created disharmony with the heart. So we're illuminating your awareness around what is required of you to become aware of that has created disharmony between the brain or the head and the heart. Bringing that into greater balance, encouraging that into greater balance. And just know that this might require you to do some work, some journaling around what this brought up for you, and intending also that you shift that for yourself, you know, so that you come into your greatest alignment, so you align to your greatest potential. Malo wena hatu wasikiti wana hama duwale makuwale han hoa masasha du leana nu wana hai mala maduhena kadoase shana na wele hede la madukweda le ra tu diala na tu mata san tu hua ala sa shatu hala no makatuwa sa katukwale ate. So there's a bit of releasing. So if you are also experiencing releasing, just know that these patterns, allow them to shift as you become aware of them. Allow yourself to shift them. Allow yourself to know that you have the power within yourself to shift them for yourself, so you can create a reality in which you are in greater harmony to yourself, with yourself. Hano malahama sakate uwile atanawa heleana hala manu manana naha sala maka leha wasa shala mahana wasa kiata. Balancing the head and the heart. Balancing the head and the heart. Seleana huata le sikita lawa. Sela natu wehelasa shala ma umahaya ala la la sikiti leastan washeta khala satu quiz shatelatu shatalatu quas. Now we are moving into the throat and the throat chakra. And this is a very, very powerful center of our truth and our true expression. Also, self-esteem, confidence, also reside and originate in this area. So when we are empowered and we are taught, to express ourself naturally, authentically, there's great power in that. And when that gets suppressed, or there's programming around repressing that, suppressing that, not expressing that, basically, that creates great distortion, so that we start to align to things that we think or feel are in alignment, but at our divine core, they are not. So as we begin to uncover and excavate the lies or the distortions that we have become accustomed to, we have been programmed or indoctrinated into, we start to speak our truth, and that shows, that allows us to radiate our truth, more of our truth, and that might repel certain people, certain situations out of our reality. That's why this is such a powerful center. When you align to your truth, you actually become repulsive to those who are not in alignment with you, not in alignment with your truth, or will not respect your boundaries or who you are. Or there's a lot of different nuances that can be felt when someone resonates and expresses in their truth. Okay? This is a very powerful center. So when we are taught we can just express ourselves authentically, that allows us to know and feel a great sense of self-esteem, self-worth. So self-worth doesn't just originate in the sacral chakra, it originates here as well. Okay? And so when we repress that, we feel we are unworthy. Or when we were a kid or in our very early developmental stages, if we were taught to suppress our truth, oh, be quiet, kids are meant to be seen, not heard, and things like that, those little belief systems that we internalize and we don't realize we internalize them, things like that create the alignment to the distortion, to the lie. So when we begin to uncover our truth, we might become repulsive to certain people. But on the other hand of that, on the other side of that coin, that same coin, we become very, very attractive, very magnetic to that which is resonant with our truth. Okay? This is a very, very powerful center to activate, to become aware of, and to understand, understand within yourself. Okay, so there might be some work to do around this area, and we are continuing to clear out and illuminate distortions around your own truth, what is truly resonant with you, and what you have believed was resonant with you based on the distortion, based on the lie, based on the programming or the beliefs that you internalized. So we're creating some space in order to see and to become aware of that which you require to know yourself through, to become aware of. So I'm going to right now encourage you to journal after this any awarenesses that came up, so you can work with them in the future as they continue to arise, or just work through them in your own process of shadow work and integration. So we're going to bring in source light now. And you can, whatever you call this by, God, Buddha, Allah, purple monkey dishwasher, universal consciousness, whatever you call it, we're bringing that light in, and you can imagine it as whatever color. I'm seeing a very, very bright, soft white with the rainbow. It's a rainbow white color. And we're going to bring that straight down into the throat chakra. And also know that these beings from Camelopardalis are also here facilitating this during this Lionsgate portal, because we have greater access to their consciousness right now. And they are actually also inviting you to connect with them on a greater level. If you feel called to do so, there is that invite as well as we activate the throat. These beings from Camelopardalis are helping to facilitate and support the greater, the deeper remembrance and awareness of our truth, of our true expression, of our true nature. And that is pointing us also to our divine nature, the Christ within. Whatever label it is that resonates with you, activating your truth, activating your self-esteem, activating your power. And activating the remembrance of these aspects within you. Self-esteem, self-worth, your power, your truth. Knowing that it is okay to be repulsive to some people. And if that feels uncomfortable for you, there's some awareness around that. Why is it so uncomfortable for you to be repulsive to some people? That's just how it is. We're not meant for everybody. That's okay. That's just part of how things are right now on our planet. That's part of the transitionary phase that we are in, because we are finding our true alignment. And in finding our true alignment, it's important that we actually know and become aware or wise of the fact that we are going to repel some people or some circumstances, right? If we are in our truth, we are bringing to that which is going to create greater truth rather than the distortions, okay? So it's like an awareness around repelling that which is distorted. And that's not to say rejecting it or denying it or invalidating it. It's to say, I honor you, I see you. I also understand that I am not resonant with you. You are not resonant with me. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the experience. I now know who I am. I now know what I am. I know now how I serve. There's great power in that, my friends. There's great power in that. Part of that power is honoring others' truth. And at the same time, I'm also filming an activation of Sirius, a Sirius activation, an activation from Sirius, from Canis Major, that you might want to also check out, because that is also, it's dealing with loyalty to our truth, our true expression, our true nature. So it's focusing on loyalty and where we have maybe betrayed ourselves, have been taught to betray ourselves, programmed to betray ourselves. So there is that activation as well. And these two activations seem to be working in a greater harmony, a greater coherence, or to create a greater coherence. So you're welcome. I invite you to check that out as well. And we're still in the throat, activating the throat, bringing in that divine white light, whatever light it appears to you, and just flooding that throat chakra with your divinity, with your divine nature, your divine true nature, your divine expression, your divine true expression. And your truth. Activating that, flooding that chakra with light, and bringing awareness to all that is discordant, disharmonic within your field, that you are being invited, given the opportunity to release at this time within this activation. And with any work, any additional action, you are called to, guided to. Okay. Now we're going back into the heart to bring that overflow of that divine white light into the heart. So we're using all of this divine light. Some of you might have been worried of like, oh, we're overflowing it. There was a purpose for that. It was perfectly orchestrated. to use another term of sound, perfectly orchestrated, bringing that overflow into the heart, and knowing that we also express through our heart and our throat, our ways, our vehicles of expression. That is part of what the functionality of the high heart is and does. It brings the two expressions into one, into a high expression of high knowing, high vibrational knowing, high vibrational honor, respect, consideration, higher knowing, okay? Higher knowing, higher expression. Okay, and now we're going to move that overflow also up into the mind, into the head. So into your brain, your brainstem, all of the layers of your brain, all of the parts of your brain, also into the third eye, into your eyes, into your ears, your nose, your sinus cavities, your entire head, your chin, your throat, your neck. Bringing these three centers into alignment, greater alignment, and improving the capacity in which expression can flow and become coherent within your field. Increasing the coherence between information and emotion. Knowing how, remembering how to bring that into balance and regulate that within the field, within your own field. So there's also a bit of nervous system calming, regulation of the nervous system as well. Knowing how to regulate one's own emotions allows one to understand how to regulate one's nervous system. And I'm hearing, I want to say it's parasympathetic, but it might be the sympathetic nervous system. It's allowing us to regulate the nervous system that can cause, if it becomes overactive, it can cause anxiety. If it's underactive, it can cause depression. But depression is not always a bad thing. We can get into that in a later video. Taking a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. And one more deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And allowing yourself to pause for a few moments to integrate this energy, to integrate these codes, the information that came through. And once again, I'm going to encourage you, after we move out of this space, to grab a journal, a piece of paper, or go out to nature and do some contemplative or self-reflection, self-contemplation, some journaling around what came through, any awarenesses that came up for you. And in your own timing, I'm going to invite you to come back to this space, back into your body, centered and trusting in the knowing that you have received exactly what it is that you require at this time. And it is a process of unfoldment. Trusting that process of unfoldment in your own life and understanding that that is unique to you. I'm going to encourage you to drink a lot of water. Maybe take a bath or a shower to cleanse any of the old energies off. And also, I'm hearing to encourage you to creating your own spiritual practice, if you don't have one already, in order to reinforce the releasing that we've done today. So you can also come back to this video if you feel called, but putting into practical application some kind of practice daily to help strengthen and reinforce your true expression and the empowerment in that, the self-esteem in that, the self-worth in that, that knowing, really embodying that knowing and that remembrance for yourself. Obviously, take it as it resonates or leave it if it does not resonate. Do what resonates with your own soul and what you feel guided to do. Okay, that's the purpose of empowering ourselves and becoming sovereign beings. And so with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, if you found this powerful or positive in your, in your life in some manner, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your experience was with it. I'm always curious to know. Let me know what you experienced, what awarenesses came up for you. Subscribe to my channel for more activations, more healing work and readings, and a lot of different things that I'm being inspired to create right now. So go ahead and hit the subscribe bell for that. Until next time, my dears, may this serve you in the highest and best way. And I will see you next time.